everyone! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hi, Sir Thomas. Glad to have you here. And hi, folks. So, I'm Yosefhina. You can call me Jos. And in this today podcast, I'm going to talk about... Can you take a guess? No, it's not Worry, but it's Breast and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami. Yay! So, actually, a little bit throwback and a little bit story. Actually, I'm torn between... I'm not sure which one to choose between Worry and this book, which is Breast and Eggs, because I think if I choose Worry, it will be really monotone because I'm not the only one who have read it, and I think I'm not going to be the only one who talks about it. So, and I think Breast and Eggs are really good book, and yeah. So I'm bringing her. Yeah. She has a pronouns. This book has a pronouns, which is her. So, yeah, I bring her. So, if this turns out to be wrong, and I actually have to talk about Worry, please let me redo the podcast because I talked with my classmate and they told me that it's okay if you want to choose other books because I'm not quite recall last week. I think I'm a bit sleepy because of the weather. So if it's actually have to be Worry, I'm so sorry. Please let me redo it. I promise you I will redo it because I also love Worry as much as I love Breast and Eggs. So with that being said, I'm sorry. Let's talk about Breast and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami. Woohoo! So, Sir Thomas, you might remember me reading Heaven by Mieko Kawakami, right? But this book is a bit different. While Heaven by Mieko Kawakami, there's two main characters. In this book, in Breast and Eggs, there's three characters. And these three main characters, all of them are women. Unlike Breast and Eggs, unlike Heaven, which is boy and a girl. So, without any further ado, I'm going to read a short summary and what the book is about. So, the story is about three women. There's Natsuko, who's a writer in her 30s, and then there's her oldest sister, Makiko, who works at a bar in Osaka. And Makiko have a daughter, and her name is Midoriko, who's in middle school. So you might be a little bit confused because there's a lot of Coco going on. So I'm going to make it simpler, and I'm going to call Natsuko Natsu, Makiko Maki, and then the last one Midoriko Mido. So we are good? Okay. So there's Natsu, Maki, and Mido. Now, a little bit investigation to Maki. So Maki is really obsessed. Obsessed with getting breast implants because she thinks it makes her feel more normal. While Mido stopped talking completely, she just shut down. She only communicates only by writing in a notebook. Mostly talks about how weird it is to grow up as a girl. And Natsu, she started thinking seriously about becoming a mom without getting married. Huh? How can? But that talk opens up a whole journey about her life, her body, and what she really wants. I'm going to talk about what stood out the most about this book. So what stood out the most for me is I like how real it all felt. I might have talked about real and raw in the first podcast for Heaven by Mieko Kawakami, but That's it. I like how real something is. I like how human it is. I like how not only that we can relate, but it is a bit awkward, it is a bit taboo, but they talk about it. So I'm not feeling less normal. I'm feeling like I'm not alone in this. So capitalistic adult people pleaser word. Does that make sense? So that and for the story itself, there are no like such a big plot twist or like big life lessons. Maybe a bit of big life lessons, but like the way this moment think, talk and struggle, I feel like I have felt the same way through my journey of becoming a person, especially as a woman. As for Maki, she is really insecure, she's really tired, and I think she feels like her worth depends on how she looks. And maybe you can also relate, Sir Thomas, especially on your teenager era, like insecurity on your body and all of that. And for me though, she's scared of going up, and I think she doesn't really know how to deal with it, so she just completely shuts down. And I have this phase also, maybe it was when COVID hit. I'm completely shuts down. Like before college, I was a really, really hyperactive person. Like I'm really, if there's another, if there's a more extrovert than extrovert, then I am that. Mega super extrovert, then I am that. But because of COVID hit, and that's the era of me hitting my puberty, I think that's kind of went up to me. I become completely shut down, and yeah. So I kind of relate to me though a bit. And then for Natsu, she's, I don't know, I think like she's quiet and unsure, like she's trying to figure things out in her own way. So all of them are messy, but in a good way. For the writing style, so you probably guessing why I chose another Miyuko Kawakami to to read or like to review again, because the first one, which is Heaven by Miyuko Kami, I like how she write this story. It's easy for me to understand. Like I'm not a reader like how Maya reads, how Janet read, how Catherine read, how Indita read, or Fina read. I'm not like that. I'm like a reader. I'm just starting. And honestly, so I have 3 options, which is Uri and the Beaches, Normal People by Sally Rooney, and then this one, Breast and Eggs. And I already record the Normal People one. So I'm starting by that because I want to read that because no, that's a whole different thing. So I want to read Breast and Eggs because of Natalie Portman. Do you know Natalie Portman? I think you know Natalie Portman. I think you know better than me. So Natalie Portman, she have like book club, I think, and she have a chance to talk with the writer, which is Miyuko Kawakami itself, and she talks about it so gracefully, so excitingly, and that's being said like, ooh, like I'm getting fed up, like I need to read one. But at first, my Twitter mutuals, they recommend me to read the Heaven one first. So I read the Heaven one first, and I was like, okay, I get it. This is so good, awesome, spectacular. Give me one more. So there's Breast and Eggs. So for someone like me who isn't a reader, I can understand the language easily, and I can quite catch up to read. So what's stopping you, or like other reader who is maybe more, what is it, like read becoming something habitual? I think you will love to read this book. So for the writing style, Sir Thomas, you might wonder, like, why did Josephine choose another Miyako Kawakami books? If you guess, oh, probably because it's easy for her to understand. Yes, that's right, if you guess that one. It's easy for me to understand. I like how Kawakami's writing is so simple, it's so chill, it's so easy to understand, because I'm not really a reader, like I'm just start to read, but for her to write such a complex story with simple vocabulary is such a rare one for me. It's such a gems, I'm not a reader like Janet, Catherine, Maya, and Fina, but somehow I still understand, and it makes me want to know her projects more and more and more. And I have finished Heaven by Miyako Kawakami, by the way, and I was like, ooh, I'm eager to look forward more. And then Breast and Eggs come across, and I feel like, ooh, why not use this book for final exams? And then there's Worry, and I don't like Worry, by the way, but I'm not going to talk about that. I feel like I have to talk about this book, Breast and Eggs, like I really have to. And for the writing itself, I feel like she doesn't really rush, she just let it flow, let it happen, and it feels like I listening to women talk about things they never said out loud before. And it's intimate, but sometimes awkward, but I think that's the point. Maybe the first part is kind of like emotional chaos, but the second one is almost philosophical. It's like you might expect the story to end with clarity, but rather it ends with a question. Like, what does it mean to choose your life? That. But how the book really made me feel? Like, in all seriousness, at first I felt deeply uncomfortable reading this. Like, I see myself in Natsu indecision, or like in Mido moodness, or in Maki frustration with beauty and class and all of that. This book made me sit with feelings I avoided for a long time, about my body, my future, and what kind of life I really want. Well, you don't have to relate to everything in this novel, I think. But if you ever felt like being a woman means constantly negotiating with the world, this book gets you. Well, I feel like this isn't a book for everyone. It's slow, it's talky, like it doesn't give you the comfort of closure, like Worry and the Beach. But I think it's perfect for women in their 20s or 30s who in the middle of figuring things out, like what they want to be in life. And that sounds a lot like me. So yeah, it's perfect for me because I'm in the middle of becoming a person, becoming a part of society, becoming a part of people. I'm going to be orang in the future, right? and I'm in the journey of that. So this book is completely perfect for me. I might feeling uncomfortable at first because how real it is. Like I avoided talking about body image, aging, and all of that. But this book really made me sit down like, no, we're going to talk about that. And I felt like just like heaven, gak ada yang ditutup-tutupi. Like it's just how it is. It just, yeah, it make me feel less alone and make me, it just straight up slap me in the face with its realness, and I like how real it is. So yeah, I think Breast and Eggs maybe isn't the kind of book you bing in one night like Heaven, because Miko Kawakami is known for her really short book that you can read in just one night or like just 1 week. But this one, I don't think so, because maybe because I'm in the middle of organization and events and all of that stuff. But I think if you want being one night, well, sure, dua sure ways. But I think this book is the kind of book that will stick with you. For me, it made me feel seen as a woman, as a person. And I think if you are a woman just like me, in the middle of becoming something, becoming someone, I think it might felt the same way for you. So I think that's it for me. Thanks for listening till the end of the podcast. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm sorry if I'm kind of lack of some pronunciation or like I mispronunciation. I'm so sorry. And for Sir Thomas, if it turns out that it has to be Worry and the Beaches, please let me know. Please let me redo it. I'm so sorry, but I hear from my classmates that it's okay if you want to choose another book besides Worry. So I choose this book because it's kind of sticks with me. And yeah, happy to have you here and for having this opportunity to talk with you and overall these books that I really enjoy. So if you decided to read it, take your time and let it sing with you. See you in maybe next podcast semester. Yeah. See you in next semester. See you until then. See you and goodbye. Have a nice one.